the days and the nights we will be together.
Hello viewers out there, welcome to G9ijaTV news headlines this morning. I'm your host, Mr. Champion, and of course it's another time to get informed, to stay ahead of the curve and get to know what is trending in our beloved country, Nigeria. And just before the newspaper headlines, this morning's motivation is dealing with depression. What is depression? Depression is simply a state of sadness, loneliness, a state of inactivity over time. And of course, it's caused by a lot of things, probably traumatic experience, childhood experience, poor experiences in life, disappointments, relationship heartbreaks, and what have you. If you are depressed out there, we at G9ijaTV will say to you, put a smile on your face. The world hasn't ended yet. Tomorrow can always be better than today. Don't touch that down. We shall be back with news headlines.
The days and the nights we will be together. I will hold you tight to me. All that I want is your love. Oh baby, I'm so addicted to you. Let me give you my heart, my mind.
Welcome back, and in case you're just joining us, it's the G9ijaTV newspaper headline this morning, and of course I'm your regular host, Mr. Champion. And this morning we'll be starting with something very interesting with the Guardian newspaper. Ijaw youths fault former minister on Ukoma killings. Ijaw youths fault former minister on Ukoma killings. Now the news in detail. Rep member backs crackdown on culprits. The Ijaw Youth Network yesterday faulted the former Minister of Defense, Major General Tajuddin Olariwaju, on the grisly murder of 16 personnel of the Nigerian Army by Ukoma youths on March 14, 2024, over land dispute. This came as the Deputy Chairman, National Planning and Economic Development, and House of Representatives member representing Abak, Etim Epok, Ikak Federal Constituency or Akwa Ibom State, Clement Jimbo, has called on the Delta State government to join hands with security forces to ensure that perpetrators of the lawless killings of military personnel in the state are speedily brought to book. The IYN noted that in reacting to the killings, which shocked the entire country, the retired general fought hard to create a non-existent link between this crime against humanity and the collaborative protection of the nation's oil pipeline between private security outfits, the military, and security agents. The group said that Olariwaju's claim that it's unsafe for non-state actors to protect oil installations in the country at this critical time is curious and wrong. Details of that can be seen in the Guardian newspaper. Please grab a copy for yourself. And away from the Guardian newspaper, we move over to the Vanguard newspaper. Trending this morning, we have Labour Party, Common Things That Tie Obi and Buhari by Emmanuel Aziken. The amusing tug of war between the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, and the leadership of the Labour Party, LP, is undoubtedly one that is enamored supporters of President Bola Tinubu must find very interesting. The reason why the Baptists will be encouraging this crisis is simple. The NLC and the Labour Party are potentially the remaining hindrances to the political hegemony of the ruling party. It is, however, a distraction for the NLC, which ordinarily at this time should be focused on addressing the prevailing deterioration in the welfare circumstances of the working class. The fight between the NLC and the Julius Abure-led leadership of Labour Party has been brewing for some time. It's a fight primarily focused on who should control the Labour Party. The NLC insists that the Labour Party is an offshoot of the Labour Centre and that given the multifarious crisis around Abure, it ought to take over control of the party. Abure, however, demurs. The face-off led to the invasion of the Labour Party headquarters in Abuja last Wednesday. How the All Progressive Congress, APC, failed to take advantage of the situation by staging the arrest of Comrade Ajeru and Mr. Abure for causing public disturbance in the federal capital beggars belief. Readers will recall that the two men were recently at the center of controversy after they were embroiled in fisticuffs with security agencies. That is a very interesting one, you must say. And of course, if you want to know more details of that story, please grab a copy of the Vanguard newspaper for further details. Still on the Vanguard newspaper, we have yet another interesting but very sad one here. 3 university students feared dead in stampede over rice. A sad one, I must say. 3 university students feared dead in stampede over rice. Now the news in details. 3 students of the National State University Kefi were feared dead on Friday in a stampede that occurred when the students struggled for rice donated by the national state government. The incident occurred at the convocation square of the university, where the bags of rice were kept awaiting the arrival of Governor Abdullahi Sule for the commencement of distribution. According to a student witness, Moses Ajah, the surging crowd of students overpowered the security personnel and broke into the square through the gate, thereby causing a stampede. He described the incident as very unfortunate. Some of the students were struggling with the police over the rice, and as more students got information, the situation degenerated. As we speak, some students are injured and receiving treatment at the school clinic, he said. He said some students picked up bags of rice and ran to their hostels and other places of residence, even as the governor was yet to arrive to inaugurate the distribution. As of the time of filing this report, police officers were seen retrieving the palliatives from students. When contacted, the Information and Protocol Officer of the university, Abraham Ekpo, said he was aware of the incident but yet to give the details. The News Agency of Nigeria, NAN, recalls that Governor Sule recently embarked on a palliative initiative for students of tertiary institutions in the state. He has visited Federal University Lafia, College of Education, and Akwanga, among others, where he distributed 7.5 kg bags of rice and also distributed 5,000 naira each to students. More details of that story can be found in the Vanguard newspaper. And still at the Vanguard newspaper, world leaders condemn Russian concert hall attack. World leaders condemn Russian concert hall attack. World leaders denounced a deadly attack by gunmen on a Moscow concert hall on Friday that killed more than 60 people and wounded over 100. Attackers dressed in camouflage uniforms entered the Crocus City venue ahead of the start of a rock concert, opened fire and threw a grenade or incendiary bomb, according to a journalist for the RIA Novosti news agency at the scene. The assault was claimed by the Islamic State group. Here are the condemnations, offers of condolences and expressions of solidarity from governments around the world. President Vladimir Putin wished a speedy recovery to the wounded victims and conveyed his thanks to doctors. Russia's Deputy Prime Minister Tatyana Golikova was quoted as saying by Russian news agencies on Saturday after meeting with him, Putin has yet to comment publicly on the attack. And from Ukraine, which has been facing a Russian military offensive for the past 2 years, had nothing to do with the attack, presidential aide Mikhailo Podolyak said on Telegram. The main intelligence directorate of the Ukraine Defense Ministry said that the terrorist attack in Moscow was a planned and deliberate provocation by the Russian special services on Putin's orders, alleging that the aim was to further escalate and expand the war with Ukraine. Details of that story can be seen on the Vanguard newspaper. We'll go on a quick commercial break, and when we're back, we shall conclude newspaper headline this morning. Don't touch that dial. Welcome back, and in case you're just joining us, this is the G9ijaTV news headlines this morning with your host, Mr. Champion. And of course, we are still on newspaper headline. This morning, we are also looking at the Sahara Reporters. Ex-President Obasanjo demands cancellation of pension to ex-governors, deputies, says it's daylight robbery. The former President Olusegun Obasanjo has described the payment of pension to former state governors and their deputies as outrageous and criminal. Obasanjo, who spoke on Friday when he paid Governor Alex Otti on a visit at his country home in Ivosi, Sialangwa, South local government area of Abia State, insisted that the pension of former governors was no more than a daylight robbery. Sahara reporters report that the Abia State House of Assembly last week repealed the Abia State Governor and Deputy Governor's Pension Law number 4 of 2021. The repealed law provided for security medicals, cooks and stewards, amongst others, for the former governors. Details of that story can be seen in the Sahara Reporters. And away from there, we quickly move to This Day newspaper, and the headline, Naira sustains gains, now 1,382 Naira per dollar. Tinubu canvasses patronage of local goods. President Tinubu seeks whistleblowers against current manipulators. Declares ban on foreign trips will save government 5 billion quarterly. Analyst says currency gains fueled by renewed confidence, CBN strategic interventions. In a significant turn of events, the Naira has maintained an upswing against the United States dollar as it closed at 1,382 Naira per dollar on the official NAFEM window as against the 1,598 Naira per dollar it was at the beginning of this week. The parallel market also saw positive movement with the Naira closing at 1,470 Naira per dollar yesterday, up from 1,600 Naira per dollar was on Monday. Basking in the euphoria of the Naira appreciation against the greenback, President Bola Tinubu yesterday appealed to Nigerians to patronize indigenous goods and services to sustain the emerging positive show of the Naira at the foreign exchange markets. The exchange rate of the Naira to other international currencies has suddenly slided into a weak position since government introduced a policy to float the currency last year in an attempt to curb currency arbitrage. And last but not least, this morning we'll be discussing on the Lagos traffic diversion. And that's from the Nairametrics news headline. Lagos announces 2-day traffic diversion at Ikeja. Lagos State announces 2-day traffic diversion at Ikeja. Now the news in detail. The Lagos State government has announced a 3-hour traffic diversion at the PWD Inwards Ilesi Ikeja axis of the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway on Saturday, March 23rd and Sunday, March 24th, 2024, between the hours of 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. daily. Between the hours of 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. daily. The diversion plan is for the installation of some vital components of the ongoing pedestrian bridge construction at Ikeja along. This closure is contained in a statement by the Lagos State Commissioner for Transportation, Oluwaseun Osiyemi, on Friday, March 22, 2024. He stated that this is also to ensure the safety of pedestrians on Ikeja along connecting the Ikeja train station to access the Lagos Rail Mass Transit Red Line. Alternative routes. The state government in the statement outlined alternative routes to be utilized by motorists during the 2-day period. Once again, the period holds today, 23rd March, and tomorrow, 24th March 2024. And with that, that concludes the newspaper headlines this morning with G9ijaTV. And of course, with G9ijaTV, you always stay informed and stay ahead of the curve. Remember our motivation for this morning: say no to depression, say no to suicide. Suicide is not an option. Make somebody smile today and keep being happy. This is Champion signing out. Thank you.
Give you my heart, my mind, oh my soul. See, I do believe it's the way it should be. There's heaven above, this is our destiny. Never will you be alone in the dark anymore. Open your eyes, look into my heart. Rather than the storms, I will stand by your side. As seasons go on, till our hair fades to gray. All that I want is your love. Oh baby, I'm so addicted to you. Give you my heart, my mind, oh my soul. See, I do believe it's the way it should be. There's heaven